Hey Nick, thanks for putting that very thoughtful commentary up there and posting the questions very directly. And I want to make sure that I can, go right to the questions and make sure that I understand them, which my take on that was that stuff might, just give it the benefit of the doubt and say it might work on the Isle of Guernsey. But it's not going to work in today's modern economy where we've got global bankers running everything, and we don't want to step on any of their toes, so we can't do that. Okay, so that's one part of it, and another part of it is, well, if it really could work, not only on the Isle of Guernsey, but even just for the United States of America, even if it really could work, well, then everybody's going to copy it, and everybody's going to do it, and look at the kind of problems that that could lead to. Uh, wow, global economic democracy. Wow, that's really pretty scary, Nick. Um, sure, this is something that would work everywhere. It's not something that's just going to work for the United States of America. We're talking about monetary systems, okay? We're talking about economies and the relationship between how monetary systems operate and how the economy functions and carries out its business, its commerce. Um, so, having said that, what are the limits to all the other various countries of the world? It's the same limit, really, to the United States, you know, and it's the same limit to the United States whether we went with the new money system or the old money system, and that is the sustainable use of the Earth's resources to meet, the achieving the standard of living that's achievable by using those resources. And by the way, I include us as one of those resources, one of the natural resources of the Earth that's being used in conjunction with all the other resources, okay? And we're an important part of the resource because of our own unique abilities. So having said that, we have the natural limitation, the natural resource limitation, the sustainable use of the natural resources of the earth limitation, again, regardless of if we have a debt money system run by the international private bankers using fractional reserve lending, or whether we convert that to more of the Chicago Plan, American Monetary Institute version of a monetary system where the money for the economy is provided for by the government, okay? That is to say, the existence of the money. The money is created and comes into existence by the government creating it without creating any debts, okay? And the banking system operating not on fractional reserves, which it works on fractional reserves as part of the debt money system. People are going around back and forth now about which is the reserves, which comes first and which goes. And none of that stuff really matters. What they use the fractional reserve banking system for is to create money. That's what they use it for. They use it to create money and create debt by creating money by creating debt. So, again, the limitations on no matter what kind of monetary system is operating, even, the Austrian gold backed, multiple currency, the limitation is going to be the sustainable use of the Earth's natural resources to achieve a standard of living in any country, given everything else that is going on there. Now, so that's the limitation. So now, in terms of the limitations for the United States of America and how does that limitation manifest itself in the economy and become recognized, and the answer to that is, how capable are we, as people, to utilize the resources that we have at our disposal, including our economic disposal, okay? However capable we are of doing that, that's going to determine the standard of living that we can achieve. Now, when we tie that to full employment, Okay, and the objective of full employment, or employer of last resort, and all of the stuff that that means down there on the Chartalist pages. Well, and I'm just glad that they've looked into that part of it. You know, it says there may be an $8 an hour maximum wage paid to people that are either not employed or in training to be employed or whatever. Okay, so that that's all we can afford. Because that's all we can afford. And maybe it's, in today's economy, $10 an hour, and maybe it's 6. Okay, that's not important. It's a real limitation, because we're only going to be able to produce what we and consume whatever we're able to produce and consume, given our healthfulness, our education capabilities, and the productive capacity of the national economy. Okay, all the stuff that's out there that it's owned by business and utilized by business, utilizing that productive capacity, including labor, to produce goods that we consume, whatever, and services, whatever those goods and services are that we consume, that we decide to consume. That's the limitation. It's not free money. It's money being available to be traded for other resources of all kinds, natural, human, production, intellectual, technical, and of all those kinds. So that's no different in a debt-free money system of government issue. That part is no different. That's all we can achieve. Only thing is, we can achieve it with a lot less debt. Okay, a lot less debt, and we would not rely upon, for our well-being, upon the creation of more debt all the time. Okay, with the debt money system, we rely on the bankers having somebody coming in to borrow money to have adequate money to keep people employed, and that would end. Now, that's one of the things that would make all the other countries want to pursue it. Now, when all the other countries are pursuing it, Nick, that doesn't mean that they can all achieve the same standard of living that the United States of America can, given its population and given its human population, the healthfulness or lack thereof of its population, etc., etc. That's no different for any country. So the achievable standard of living using a debt-free money system is different for every country, just exactly the same as it is right now. Okay? Because the poorest countries are the least healthful, the least educated, the least technical capacity, the least of all of those things. All we can do is help them to better all of those things without putting them into debt using the debt money system. That's the difference, Nick. Okay? Using Chile as an example, Chile's capability, having turned the corner onto a debt-free money system of government issue, being able to achieve whatever standard of living it's able to achieve given all those other resources available to it, got knocked down. Its average standard of living, or its dollar an hour that is paying for the people that aren't working, or however they're paying them to do productive goods or productive work, it's got knocked down because Chile now has to take all the resources that it needs to reestablish itself and its capacity and its capabilities, and have its resources get used for achieving the standard of living. That will only happen after it restores all that it's lost to create its standard of living. So it's no different, Nick, in either system. And it has nothing to do with it being free money, okay, print money or anything like that. The economy is driven by demand, and that demand is what providing the circulating medium of exchange provides for. That's what it provides for. That's what it enables. Okay, that's all it does. And, well, it does some other things, too. That is, other benefits, but those are the major ones. So I hope that answers it, Nick. Thanks.